is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Before we become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on a coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working on a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their side is there. And these are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
I see in the next few months a nicer country, a very noisy country, rowdy country, a heavily divided country, a very tough economy, a sense of elitism by those who are coming at the hem of authority. The coming in of the Unity Party is going to multiply the economic woes, the economic conundrum, the economic quagmire, the suffering of the Liberian people is going to multiply. We are not prophets of doom, but the reality will come.
Mr. President, recently we witnessed the demolition of the CDC headquarters in Komoricham, which was carried out through a court order. How does the administration ensure that such enforcement action done carefully and without political interference?
The law is the law. It's not the government. It's the government implementation of the law. The police were ordered to do it, and they did it. And that demolition is removal of the people from premises that don't belong to them according to the law.
What will George Weah, who is tempted by Joseph Boakai, who was drowning in his Egypt land, who was dead, very red up, dirty, stink. You could find him passing around, particularly dead and useless. What will such a man conduct make you we are vexed that you will stop the work and then lose God's own mission to take you to the promised land? That was the test of time today for George Weah. If George Weah had reacted, you are falling in the place of Moses.
The Liberian National Police commends the Congress for Democratic Change for the discipline, calm, and statesmanship demonstrated during the recent eviction process. Their respect for the rule of law, despite the deep sentimental value and history attached to the property, reflects a maturity that strengthens Liberia's democracy. This movement is not only a testament to CDC's leadership, but also a reminder to all political institutions and citizens that our democracy grows stronger when lawful decisions are honored peacefully.
Today, you have a rebel police director who thinks that he has arrived. And the worst thing about all these people, they all benefited from the magnanimity of George Weah. Ranging from people on the bench of the Supreme Court, they got letters from George Weah. If some of them choose to pay him back with evil, It's up to them. The very Gregory Comer today, he worked in the previous administration when we came. He also got another letter again. If he chooses to do what he's doing, it's up to him. But one thing I can tell you for sure is this is how we are always being molded. That's how God has already molded we are and catapult him into success. He will suffer rejection, denigration, humiliation. That will be his life. How can you make somebody who has been down the line their shame? The person has gone through shame. They have gone through disgrace. They have done everything they can. Whatever people thought and were laughing at them, they surmount everything and catapult themselves into becoming someone who is towering that the whole world can look at today. What more can you do? You think you're bringing that person down? You're just hurting yourself. In fact, what you are doing, you are destroying yourself. You know what it takes for you to proud in yourself of being bad? When people are looking for good image, you are happy in becoming a bad person. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
George Weah would never ever buy in to your tricks. He would never ever.
There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example. There's nothing this president cannot do to make sure that George Weah is out of the way so he can, the United Party can continue to maintain the presidency. But I can tell you, this is a bad example.
The investigation found that on Friday, June 5th, 6 boxes were prepared for shipment through the cargo system at the Roberts International Airport. The shipment was processed under FOR's description of ordinary goods, declaring it to be Maggie Cube and Lapa. But from the beginning, there were already red flags. Discrepancies in the declared weight of the product, suspicion from the screening images, and conflicted shipment documentation. Because of those discrepancies, the cargo did not leave as planned on June 5th. On Sunday, June 7, 2026, the investigation found that on Friday, June 5th, 6 boxes were prepared for shipment through the cargo system at the Roberts International Airport. The shipment was processed under FOR's description of ordinary goods, declaring it to be Maggie Cube and Lapa. But from the beginning, there were already red flags. Discrepancies in the declared weight of the product, suspicion from the screening images, and conflicted shipment documentation. Because of those discrepancies, the cargo did not leave as planned on June 5th. On Sunday, June 7, 2026, when the boxes were rescanned and physically inspected, a white powdery substance was discovered concealed in them. A substance was immediately turned over to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. It was subsequently tested and confirmed to be cocaine. But the investigation did not stop at seizure. The Joint Special Investigative Team examined the cargo trail, the airway bill, the communication, the money trail, the digital evidence, the conduct of the individuals involved, and also found that on Friday, June 5th, 6 boxes were prepared for shipment through the cargo system at the Roberts International Airport. The shipment was processed Under 4's description of ordinary goods, declaring it to be Maggie Cube and Lapa. But from the beginning, there are already red flags. Discrepancies in the declared weight of the product, suspicion from the screening images, and conflicted shipment documentation. Because of those discrepancies, the cargo did not leave as planned on June 5th. On Sunday,
There's
June
nothing
10th,
this president
2026, when the boxes were rescanned and physically inspected, a white powdery substance was discovered concealed in them. That substance was immediately turned over to the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. It was subsequently tested and confirmed to be cocaine. But
Before we could become journalists today, we are citizens. If there is no way that our country is safe, we cannot practice in our respective professions. When we are at war, pastors will not be respected to go to church to preach. When we are at war, medical doctors will not be able to go to hospitals except on coercion or sanitary condition. When we are at war, lawyers will not be able to go to court to practice. That's why when you see these things happening, whether you are a lawyer, whether you are working a profession, you got to step down and protect your country so that that country will provide an avenue for you to be the kind of person that you want to be. And that's where we are now. What happened on yesterday was wrong. It's still wrong. And no matter what it is wrong. We are seeing things happening in this country, and people are now seeing it as being right because their SAR is there. These are things that we got to be stand up. To be a patriot, you have to stand first on the side of the law, because the politicians will go away. The regime will pass away, but your country will stay. The law will stay. Your patriotism vow will continue to stay on. And these are things that we got to stand up for. It doesn't matter how people feel, what kind of side you want to be on. We just got to speak to the truth, and that is very much important.
His Excellency, George Weah, President of Liberia. Our board noted that His Excellency's victory as the African Political Leader of the Year 2023 is a testament to his contributions to promoting peace, African culture and development, youth and sports development, and advancing Africa's agenda globally. It is also a recognition of his critical role in the infrastructural and socio-economic development of his country, as well as his people-friendly policies. He has continued to advocate for peace and free and fair elections in the ECOWAS sub-region, and this was demonstrated by a show of statesmanship and iconic posturing by accepting electoral loss and congratulating the winner. While he arguably had options as a sitting president, he chose the path of honor, peace, and the defense of democracy. His emergence reaffirms our position that he has remained one of the continent's leading light, as he had continued to demonstrate great faith in the African project, promoting African dignity and helping to change the negative narratives about the continent.
Good afternoon, people from wherever you are following. We would say thank you so very kindly that you made us a part of your itinerary on this 12th day of August 2026, the reign of Nebuchadnezzar of Judah Christopher. Another day again, man. Great day. Yes, great day, people. Thank you too for coming on. I'm always excited, always motivated, elated, spirited by your presence. Real Talk, Kings 88.5. I'm Sam Andrews. As always, Sam Andrews. Grateful we are to God Almighty the creator and sustainer of the universe, the God who hovers each and every person, the God who knows everybody by name and exhaustively. He is the God, faithful in all of his ways, never reneging on his promises, but he fulfills every word that he utters in the fullness of time. Yes, and we are always excited too by your presence. Thank you for coming on. You are so good, so massive, so extraordinary. You put in everything, your time, energy, and resources. We are grateful. Against that backdrop, let's bring few of you that on. Macomb, Woolbridge, Virginia, USA. Ratiblidi, Philippines. Victoria Tay, Minnesota. Alexander Dolly, Tennessee, USA. Aweliti City, Police Academy, Princess Elpidet, Gunter, Nimba County. My dear brother Nevet Pevet, Morovia, yes, that is. Yeah, the boy want to call that the country that way. The country is a narco republic. Thank you. Good description. Narco republic. Every characteristic, or all of the characteristics, or most of the characteristics of a narco state, you find it today. They think they are smart enough, but they are not the only ones who are privy to information of such. They are not the only ones who went to school. They are not the other one who are exposed. They are not, all of us in this space are exposed one way or the other. So they cannot control the narrative by saying Liberia is not a narco state. Liberia is a narco state because most of the characteristics of a narco state, you find it today. Kadiatu Kamara, Vamuya Fofana, Rita Christine Hayes, Massachusetts, USA. Samson Carey, Batnazwe Township, District 11. Morris Zodwa, Meglin Street, Waterside. Samuel Bo, your residence. Tobatsi, Manuel Bro, Minnesota. Saturday Woodaware, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Musa Sharif, Congo Town. Emmanuel Roberts, Cox City. Gwe C. Deming, ELWA Rehab, Woki Davids, Emmanuel Gwe, Japan Freeway, Juju One Way. That's James Womel. James Womel. What's that? District 4, Bon County, Panta Administrative District. Ezekiel Davids, Dakwi Town Community, Battery Factory, Quilling Banks, Moulton Corner, Paris Lobert, New Jersey, USA. Francis Jusu, that's where? District what? That's Lofa County, Kwambu Road Community, Lofa County, that's good. James Moyala, Dupont Roar. Tamati John, Amara Jala Kamara, Brussels, Belgium, Moses Gray, ELWA Rehab Community, Willem Carr, Omega, Bainesville, Mantunian Son, Breville, Patrick Kamara. My dear sister Orita Sunday required, hope that you are faring well. Welcome. And thanks for the pieces of advice and every other thing. Thank you. Good to have you on the show. Charles Silly, Painesville. Okay. The chairman himself, Roman Rico, Kenneth Ball, Latupan, the chairman for life, the one and only chairman, the common citizen, Daha Jawian. Good to have you on. District 13, Block 13, Intellectual Center Chairman, the one and only. Thank you all for coming on wherever you are falling from. We appreciate your presence. Thank you so very kindly. Let's get out of Liberia and bring on few developments unfolding out of this country from African perspective, and then we get to what we've got on our plate for today. We understand what in politics is referred to as the shenanigan, the political ploy to divert. We understand that very well. They say they're controlling the narrative as they controlled the narrative yesterday, but they're not controlling the narrative today. If they ever controlling the narrative, they are putting out deception and neutralizing. We are countering. We are on top of the game. So hold on. I will tell you where we are with that. But they can control the narrative. They do not know how to control it. They were destructive in opposition yesterday. That's what they call controlling the narrative. Today, no, defining it difficult, defining ways by which this 19.2 million cocaine can go to bed, 336 million United States dollars cocaine can go to bed. If they are controlling the narrative, will not be hitting 3 months, will not even forecast 2027 cocaine, 2028 cocaine. No, we will not. But we understand the other side that they try to. So let's move. Let's get out of Liberia briefly. Cameroon President Paul Biya has not been seen in public since leaving for Europe on June 7th. The 93-year-old leader, who has ruled Cameroon since 1982, remains abroad as government business continues and senior military positions are reshuffled. His prolonged absence has fueled questions about leadership and Cameroon's political future. In South Africa's unemployment rate has climbed to 33.6% in the second quarter of 2026, up from 32.7% in the first quarter. New figures from the National Statistics Department showed that the number of unemployed people rose to a total of 8.5 million, while the number of employed people also decreased by 16,000 to 16.7 million. The data shows notable job losses across community and social services, mining, agriculture, manufacturing, and utilities. The steepest declines were recorded in the Western Cape, Gauteng, and Northwest provinces. Officials told the BBC officials did not, according to the BBC, provide clear reasons for the downturn, leaving the drivers of the rising unemployment rate uncertain. And Uganda has directed bars and other alcohol outlets to remain closed before 3 p.m. on working days under new government measures aimed at curbing early morning drinking and boosting productivity. The Ministry of Local Government has also imposed an immediate ban on alcohol sales to anyone under 18. Local authorities and security agencies have been instructed to enforce the rules strictly, with offenders, whether individuals or establishments, facing sanctions, including possible closure. Those are some of the developments unfolding out of Liberia. Please, this reminder, today's the 12th. We are gradually headed to the 21st day of August, when His Excellency, the former President of the Republic of Liberia, George Manning Weah, will have the honor to deliver a lecture, a motivational talk, a pep talk, an insightful address to the Nigerian Bar Association, which will also incorporate schools of business executives, media executives, politicians, international partners, and the late goes on. Historic, and it is a recognition for Liberia, not a glory unto His Excellency, the former president, but Liberia, he is representing Liberia. He was chosen by the panel as the former president of the Republic of Liberia. It's Liberia's recognition, it's Liberia's praise to shout, it's Liberia's testimony to inherit, it's just Liberia's everything. That will be on Friday, the 21st day of August will be on Friday. So we are talking about next week, Friday. Next week, Friday, the 21st. The conference runs from the 21st to the 28th of this month, August. Let's get to what we've got on our plate now. Well, we've got the cocaine as the topical issue, the trending issue, but there are other issues that are unfolding. The president will confirm what we have been talking about, assessing the government, following the government's work, the government's activities. I think this time around, they told Mr. President to stop being deceptive, and leadership-wise, he has to own up to some of the pitfalls or lack of progress. I think they have told Mr. President, because in his address yesterday to look at the arrest agenda, Mr. President admitted to a couple of failures, which his people, his ministers of information, wouldn't attempt to be honest to address, but rather will choose to go ballistic and bombastic. Mr. President acknowledged failures in a couple of areas by his government. At that conference yesterday, or that assessment meeting of the minds to assess their progress, Mr. President made it clear in the arrest agenda that they have not had significant progress, breakthrough in healthcare. He said healthcare is their problem. One, he talked about water and sanitation, two, as their problem. Two, telecommunications. Mr. President will admit that there is a problem. The government have not found a solution yet. And then education. Education. Mr. President admitted yesterday, having assessed the arrest agenda, that they have made no significant breakthrough in the education sector, that his government has not been able to take the education sector to another level. That's what he said yesterday. Then he went on to say that they need to address these concerns if they will get Liberia better. Mr. President will acknowledge failures, setbacks. These are key areas of the country's existence. If healthcare is a problem, or the government cannot tackle the problem of healthcare, imagine between now and the end of 2026, 2027, the middle, don't even talk about the latter part of 2027, how it's going to be in that sector, or how that sector is going to be. You people who are in that sector, you know what I'm talking about. The specialists in that area know. It is a major, major concern. And Instead of the people addressing these things, you have them running all over the place and insulting people. Why Mr. President dances to that gallery of insults. This is a major setback for the government. Mr. President admitted that they have not made any significant breakthrough in healthcare, water and security, telecommunication, education. Why did they bring Dr. Jaso Mala in? The president admitted Dr. Jaso Mala failure, that since she took over, there hasn't been any significant reform within the education sector of the country. I wonder how she was feeling when Mr. President was delivering or outlining these failures and setbacks of the arrest agenda. I'm wondering, listening to Mr. President talk, I was wondering how she was feeling, because they brought her in as expert. Senator Dillon told her to come to the country because she is part of the Dillon's family. He himself confirmed that she is the wife of Senator Dillon's younger brother. Based on that, and since it is their government, they told her to come from America and she will be the Minister of Education. And that truly happened. They told President Bouaka, let this woman, Dr. Jaso Mala, she has a doctorate degree. She is suited for that position. President Bouaka had no option but to appoint Dr. Jaso Mala as the Minister of Education, which isn't bad at all. No. But the delivery is key. The delivery is key. People aren't convinced that you have all of the credentials when they can see no difference. It is the difference that they see from your work that they are convinced, yes, you match your credential with the reality, the difference we can see on the ground. Yet, nothing. Mr. President admitted to failures of the arrest agenda. Healthcare is very essential. Water and security. Telecommunication. So the president simply said that the people responsible to manage the health sector, this component of the arrest agenda, they are unable. 3 years, no significant progress. 1. 2, the people responsible for the water sector, they have not been able, even though they on social media showing BB pipes all over the place, but their bossman, in his assessment, said nothing significant has happened. You're just showing pipes all over the place. You're just going from one end to another and say 500 people have access to pipe-borne water. And that ratio is by far low, very, very low. So there isn't a progress there. The telecommunication man, the president simply meant that you're doing nothing. You were appointed from the very first day and you have stayed 3 years or almost 3 years and nothing. The telecom sector is just bad off. And then education. I wonder how these people felt. These are all die-hard supporters of Unity Party. These are people who condemned their colleagues yesterday and proud themselves as having all of the knowledge, the energy, the resources to do just everything that their sectors will be different. Here we are. Their own bossman, not the media, but their own bossman gave their appraiser or his appraiser of their work. Not only that, Mr. President will go further. What did he say? This time around, a command or an injunction or order. if he meant what he said. That moving forward, these are the words of Mr. President at the assessment of the arrest agenda on yesterday at the Moravia City Hall. Moving forward, all ministries, agencies, and partners are expected to submit their reports on time and in the format agreed upon with the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. What is Mr. President saying, or what he meant? Lackadaisical attitude. Don't care. Nothing going to happen if we don't submit our report on time. Nothing absolutely going to happen. You will understand because you are a sleeping president. So we wait, no problem. Wait means a delay. So he's acknowledging, or he did acknowledge delay, that reports were not being submitted on time. And that is another problem in governance. He went further to say, our focus must be on results. Our focus must be on results. It's a reference of the focus is not really on results. I don't think he was telling them that they've made significant progress. The results are same, because if they did, he will be talking about those progress. The expression focus on results means they are not result-oriented. A result-oriented minister, meaning that person is focused on his job, that person does it and does it with everything, even if he or she has limited resources or limited technical support, but he will put his innovation, everything into it with the limited staff and deliver. He may not be at 100%, but he will deliver. That's what a result-oriented minister, or generally a result-oriented person. Mr. President simply meant they are producing no results, so they should not focus on results. When the boss is telling you focus on results, the boss is simply saying, he is saying nothing convincing. Nothing convincing from his appraisal or assessment of the employee's TOR, term of reference. So he's saying that his guys have been very lackadaisical, don't care. Then he added this. He said, repeated delays, listen carefully, repeated delays, inconsistencies, and incomplete submissions will no longer be accepted, meaning that has been the reality. Is that leadership? No. It means Mr. President himself hasn't been effective. And honestly, Mr. President isn't in charge, but he is the president constitutionally, having been elected democratically, but he isn't in charge. All of us knows that Mr. President isn't in charge, but he's the president. By all of the national laws and frameworks, he's the president. You can take that from him. But is he in charge of all of the decisions, making observation, reasoning, analyzing, consulting, having meetings here and there? No. Because if Mr. President was on top of his game as the boss, he wouldn't have said this in the open to all of his people, including those who had gone to be a part of that ceremony. And even some of the international partners felt a little bit of uneasiness if they weren't entirely uneasy. Hearing Mr. President talk about the lackadaisical attitude, the laissez-faire attitude of his people, repeated delays, inconsistencies, and incomplete submissions, meaning they will make submission, but the submission was always in a don't care. Incomplete means it's not properly done. So Mr. President is admitting how most of his ministers, those who are responsible to manage the sectors they are managing. They have been don't care. They have been reckless. They have shown laissez-faire attitude. They have not been responsive. These are the words of Mr. President, not St. Andrew's words, not King's FM 88.5 words. Mr. President words from yesterday's appraisal or meeting or assessment of the arrest agenda, where they made progress, where they have hurdles, what they need to do. He said, repeated delays, inconsistencies, and incomplete submissions will no longer be acceptable, meaning it had been that way, and he had tried to be lenient, but the leniency now will have to stop. And then he said, appropriate action will be taken. Appropriate action will be taken. Chief, Mr. President has admitted that his people don't even respect him. The people have no time. The people see him as a sleeping president. So they have been delaying with their submission, making reports. They have been inconsistent with it. These are Mr. President's words. Listen carefully. Moving forward, the expression moving forward is to demonstrate, one, the seriousness of the person having taken a full consideration of the situation by assessment. Two, that from that moment, none of what happened will ever exist. Three, that the leader himself will now be proactive instead of how he or she was passive. That's what that expression means. When you hear a person, I'm not just saying just how people use it now, but in the context of leadership, it suggests seriousness, living from being playful and all of those things and being serious. Say, moving forward, meaning this is a definitive decision. Moving forward, all ministries and agencies and to submit their reports on time and in the format agreed with the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, blah, blah, blah. So what is it? It is a minus for the government, a minus for Unity Party. Mr. President simply meant these people whom he singled out are don't care ministers. They're don't care ministers. They are not ministers who are actually delivering. And they have not shown that seriousness of ministers. They have shown laissez-faire attitude. That's what he said. After confirming failures, healthcare, he said, is our problem. Healthcare is our problem. Water insecurity is our problem. Telecommunications is our problem. Education is our problem. We need to address these concerns to get a better Liberia, An acknowledgement that Liberia isn't better under President Bouaga. They have too many shortcomings. They have too many shortfalls. They have too many setbacks. Instead of focusing on it, they're all around with the political thing. The same thing that they were claiming against CDC officials, that they were not concentrating on the job whole day. They're on Facebook, they're reacting to people, they doing X, Y, Z. They are doing the same thing. Government ministers, Unity Party, government ministers, they take up time to be reacting to people here and there. They have become Facebook Unity Party ministers. So what they ought to do, they have not done it, and they think that nothing should happen. That's why the arrest agenda is failing. Because they take up time. They're on Facebook. They're reacting to this person. They're reacting to that other person. The people who came and said their style of governance will be different. There is no difference. They are treading the same path they criticized yesterday. A minus for the government. Dillon has to speak to his sister-in-law. Who thought that the president was going to single out Senator Dillon's sister-in-law as a failure in the education sector? That means that Mr. President, he said education is our problem. Meaning there's a problem with the education sector. Nothing really significant has changed. And you know that. That will be doing it for that. So let's get on to the political ploy or the political shenanigan. Meaning to sway attention. We are aware and we are on top of our game to counter their shenanigans or their ploy to keep the cocaine debate afloat. They want to sway attention from the cocaine. That's what they want to do. So they've come out with this thing. And if you people can buy into it, well, that's it. But I don't think it makes sense to buy into it. That is a complete political ploy. A political ploy is an expression to sway opinion from something that is very germane, very important, very significant, but the politician don't want you to keep talking about it, keep focusing on it. So they bring an idea and they are consistent with it, and you jump into it, then you forget about the main issue. That is the situation with this Daniel Sando and Senator Amara Conen. I see it that way. It is a political ploy to sway attention, to sway the public's attention, to get the public bathing in this Amara Conen, Daniel Sando debate. Why that is, why it has substance, but it can never take our attention off the 19.2 million United States dollars cocaine, the 336 million United States dollars cocaine. We talk about it, but we see it as a ploy. We see it as a diversionary tactic. But we will not control in their power because we are on top of our game. We are ahead of them by reasoning. So Daniel Sando is on this thing. It was planned. Listen, it was planned. And the plan is, let's use this situation because Unity Party knows that they are drowning in this cocaine stuff. They know that most of the people or some of their big names, if not most of the big names, are going to fall on a disgraceful list. Already, their own paper reported today, Verity News reported that Fitzgerald Biago was delisted. That means his name was removed. He was scheduled, according to the paper, he was scheduled to attend the 40th session of a security meeting on drugs and other stuff in Argentina, the home of legend football star Lionel Messi, from the 18th downward, and he was delisted. That means he was removed. His name was removed. That's what we said. You burn the drugs. You are hastening to burn the drugs. You think you were smart, but you did not burn the evidence. Didn't we tell you that it was wrong for them to burn the drugs? And we still maintain that today. We consulted our security people in here and out of Liberia, whether it is a standard to burn a drug that is under suspicion, that is being used for investigation. And they said, no, that you can hasten to burn it. You can rush to burn it because that is what will be used in court. Since they burned it, we maintain that they did not burn the evidence. They did not burn the evidence. The evidence is everyone whose name or names came out, they have damaged their reputation for the rest of their lives on earth. They can never move anywhere freely. Any attempt, they will be picked up, whether they're in a country other than Liberia, Interpol will pick them up because their names are tied to one of the most dangerous drugs. And what we see, why it is true that we can take that as 100% true, as absolute, but we see it as a private information. It's a private information. So we wait to see now. Today is the 12th. Tomorrow is the 13th, and then the weekend into next week, 18, whether Fitzgerald Biago will travel. But that's what their own newspaper, pro-Unity Party, pro-Joseph Yuma Boakai, pro-government, Verity newspaper reported this morning that Fitzgerald Biago was delisted. That means his name was removed from the list of those who have been set out to travel to Argentina for that 40th conference. So they have this thing with Daniel Sando, a plan. Unity Party planned it. The Ministry of Information will add substance to it. Everything that is happening, the government knows about it, Unity Party knows about it, they plan it. The network is strong, meaning they communicate amongst themselves. And since they are drowning in this drug thing, say, what do we do? We need to sway public opinion. It is one of the significant things in public communications, public policy. So if something is pressing against you, so strong, so hard, what do you want to do? You want to turn that off. And to do that, you're going to come out with a plan, a more stronger idea, an idea that will attract immediately, that people can buy into no time, that they will be excited and motivated to jump into it. And then what they are embarrassed of, people will not focus on it now, they will turn their attention from there. That's one of the key aspects of public relations. So, but they do not know how to do it. They do not know how to do it. If you look at some of the people, let me use people outside our country, governments outside our country, institutions, you see that they don't go insulting and saying all kinds of stuff. They just create a saying, they create a very unique idea, they discuss it real good, how to go about it. They get people on various extremes, and then what happened? They are hitting. So less than no time, the public attention is on that new development that has come out. That's what they call controlling the narrative. It is not what they're doing here today. No. So they come up. They won't do it, but they know how to do it. You see? They know how to do it because that's not the area. They know about public policy, public communication. They know much about media relations. They didn't about doing that real media relations. So you see, they came down, they say, oh, look, Daniel Sano, send this mayor talk about XYZ. Say something about him. Say something, come down how? Because the whole goal of Unity Party is to get people attention of this thing, that what they have started doing. You're going to see many of these things coming out. They know very well that this thing is weighing against them. It's too strong, and it's going to affect the government badly. So they want to take the pressure off. The pressure is too strong. The fever is getting high. Now they want to decrease it. So say, let's create some kind of sin. Daniel Sando, American said this, hit him. You have my support. So he comes and hit. American too comes and said something. And then Daniel Sano is consistent. You see it? Listen, the guys, they look for certain people. They look for certain weakling or certain weak characters to use. Had American, let's assume, let's use our little public communications skill. So if I were close to Senator Cornyn and that came up, I would tell Senator Cornyn, don't say anything about it. Don't say anything. Tell all of your supporters who may be angry not to say anything. Leave it. You know what we have done? What that we have done to Unity Party and Daniel Sano and Jawlene Pia and the rest of the people? It would have made them clowns. It would have made them comedians. But when you put sentiment into your political life, then they use you as a pawn on a chessboard. And that's the situation with they and American. They see American as that pawn that they can use, and they are using him because he reacted. What Daniel Sano is doing, Daniel Sano is writing, I think since this morning, he has written 4 or 5 times, calling him all kinds of names, saying all kinds of stuff about Senator American. Truly, if I were close to Senator Cornyn, I would have told him, I said, Senator, don't take this thing serious. Don't react to it. Don't ever say anything. You leave it. Don't react to it. And you will see how the Ministry of Information and all of their speakers and the rest of the Unity Party people will have gone. So sad. Like a wet dog leaving, looking for a place to get warmness. The reason why these guys, they are successful in what they do, because Liberia's culture is sentimentally reactive. Every little thing people reacting. Every little thing people reacting. When you are so reactive, all of the time people use you as a pawn on a chessboard. You will say, but St. Andrews, people can be tarnishing your reputation and then you don't talk. Yes, it makes sense, but it depends the situation. This one, if I were close to Senator Cornyn, given my understanding of Unity Party tricks and they are quote-unquote controlling the narrative, I would have told him, Mr. Senator, don't react, don't say anything, leave it, let them write, let them talk. When they get tired talking, they will shut up. Had the senator not reacted, they say the best way to silence a stupid person is not to give him attention. When you give attention to a stupid person, he dumps all of his stupidity on you. And who is embarrassed? You are embarrassed because you gave him the space. You gave him the space. These guys are not politically inclined. How I like those guys out of Liberia. This thing out of Liberia, you're not going to hear that politician reacting. That politician will live, do his normal work, move on as if nothing happens. He has no time to react. When they're tired talking, they will shut up. That's how you close people's mouth. I know sometimes it is strong, giving your position, but you want to put on that thick skin. You want to close your eyes. You want to suppress your anger by not reacting. So they reacted. He reacted. Now they told Daniel Sano, they said, continue. Daniel Sano, since this morning, has written more than four pieces against him, calling him all kinds of names, saying all kinds of things about him. Now, if this wasn't a plan, Daniel Sano wouldn't be. If a person reacts once and you reacted to the person and the person isn't reacting, you leave it as it is. But if you reacted to the person and the person reacted and the person leaves it, and you keep on reacting, then it means a different thing. The intention is different. What do you see Daniel Sano doing? He has the support of Unity Party. He has the support of his boss, Jerry Limick PR, because PR wrote on his page. PR wrote 3 words with 3 exclamatory marks. He said, Daniel Otis Sando, with 3 exclamatory marks. What that means is, great, you're doing good. Congratulations, keep it up. You have my support. When a boss does that, the boss is giving you the added impetus or zeal to do. The boss is saying, you have my support. You have my backing. Go on. And that's why you saw, and you still see Daniel Sano still insulting or saying all manner of things against the senator, whichever way he can say, calling whichever way. It is the plan of the United Party. Let's use this man as a pawn, as a cock on the chessboard. Let's go back into his past. And let's say that he did this, that he attempted systematically. Let's put him against the public. Let's make the public to know that this man is a bad man. So as they jump into it, they're not going to be talking about the cocaine much. They're not going to be talking about the 3.36 million. That's the strategy. The senator comes in and acts like he is reacting or at Daniel Sano shooting. Daniel Sano is from his party, is the vice chair for political affairs of Unity Party. So what he said, what he wrote was just read it over and over. You when we were coming. The second thing there, Daniel Sando not only has the support of his Unity Party people and his boss, Jerry Limick PR, but he has the backing of his sponsor, his appointer, the person who sent his name for appointment, Pro Tem Yombli Kanga Lawrence, who is the political leader of Liberty Party. He feels untouchable. And truly, there are certain people in this government that are untouchable. Nothing can happen to them. Just as they said yesterday, oh, people were untouchable in we as government, and they saw it has been wrong. In their government, people are untouchable. One of those persons who feels that he is untouchable is Daniel Sano, because Daniel Sano feels that he has the backing of Pro-Tem Yombi Kanga Lawrence, because it's Pro-Tem Yombi Kanga Lawrence that sent his name. He's from Liberty Party. That's Liberty Party interest there. And these guys enjoy these things when they are happening. They enjoy. All that they brought against Senator Conan. Come on. You in power now. It's not to go beyond. It's not to go to the past. You in power. If you weren't in power and Senator Conan has come to support the CDC government that is still in power and saying XYZ, and you're in opposition, you can say what you want to say. Your argument will have substance. But you say you liberated the country. You rescued the country. Then why are you going to the man past and say, oh, the man did not do this, the man did not do that, the man attempted rigging the election for George Weah? Chief, you don't buy into those things, man. Come on. You have to be politically inclined, put on your political reasoning. They try to sway public attention from this drug thing. They don't want people to be talking about it repeatedly because the public have talked about it for a very long time now, and the public seem not to be tired talking about it. The public wants solution, so they're trying some kind of way to sway attention from this. Everything that he brought against Amara Conan, no, you dare. You took over. You the president. When I say the president, I mean Unity Party. They're in power. That the president there. The ruling establishment is the president. Then you're complaining. Chief, we were not controlled in that war. We were not. That is a clear distraction. We will not give in. Then the man said, no, let me bring on this one. They said, which I can term this one going back into Senator Conan's, was it November 2023? The savior yesterday, that's how I can term it. And if you look at it, truly, that's it. The savior yesterday is today's devil. Yesterday, Amara Conan was their savior. Today, they see Amara Conan as the devil. Well, how do you want me to say when I tell you that the Unity Party is the devil's party? That's how the devil operates. That's it right there. That's how the devils operate. They will praise you. They will say all manner of things. You will really enjoy their comfort and on along the way. They tell you, no, we're done with you. Sorry, you are not the kind of person we ought to have in our midst. You want to pack your bag and move on. That's what they're doing to Senator Conan. That's what they're doing. Yesterday, Senator Conan was the savior. Today, Senator Conan is the devil. They all lambasting him. They all saying all manner of things against him. Should they be doing that? No. Even if you claim the man didn't support you, but you will not come and say the man attempted rigging the election when the margin was by far, the margin was a gulf. So you see, it's just a distraction, just a political ploy. So you ought to get into those things. Then he said they made George Weah, they made George Weah president of this country, meaning they did not want Weah to be president of this country. Have a listen to the man they are using as the surrogate.
We come from the Islamic faith, but as Christian, when I'm guilty, I go to seek the face of God in supplication for the things that Amara colluded and did to this country. for which it seems now that we are starting anew on the leadership of President Bouaka. He needs to take a time to go to the mosque on Friday to seek the face of Allah in supplication. Let it be forgive. Because this country, there are so many persons who died by the roadside because the hospitals were not functional. There are so many students who cannot go to school because of the decision that the election Amara made to make sure we are president.
All right. This is part. So, you think the mayor, you think Daniel Sano actually made sense? You think Daniel Sano made sense? No. He talked loosely. His thoughts weren't coherent, weren't historically balanced. He was just talking. Listen to what he said. In the Unity Party government of former President Sirleaf, we have deaths at an exponential rate. The hospital was bad off. The health sector was one of the most dehumanizing place for any human treatment under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Everywhere was bad off, but Ellen Johnson Sirleaf received millions and billions and trillions of dollars. The education sector under Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, where Jerry Limepia served as deputy minister, could not produce anything for 12 years significantly. They were there. People died. Patients were being rejected. There were no beds. JFK was referred to as a death trap. We can go on and on. The Unity Party government on Sirleaf. Almost all of the sectors was dysfunctional to a greater extent. That Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government that Pierre served in as deputy minister. People die. And people will die. And people continue to die of different illnesses, different things, different ways. Every day, everywhere, every government. Fast forward to President Bouaka government. That this man will say, because we came to power, American did this, people died, people there. What is happening with the health sector? His own president sat in the midst of international partners, went live around the world, that healthcare, he said, it is a problem. Education, it is a problem for them. Telecommunication is a problem. Go to JFK. How the Tab One-Way representative, Tab One-Way describe JFK. Go to JFK. Look at the health sector under the Unity Party government. Do we not have deaths all over the place? Are people being treated? Under the Unity Party government, no bed. Go to JFK. You have to bribe to get bed. If somebody know you or your relative in there, you will have to be on the ground. Where did Mr. President go a couple of weeks ago? And they went to JFK to assess. Daniel Sano and his boss man know that one. We will not control India Powo. We'll keep our focus on the drugs. That scheme there, we know it. So it's not about the May George we are president. Every citizen of this country is entitled to become president of this country once to meet the requirement. If they are vexed because George Weah came to power, then it is a serious mental disease. If they are vexed because George Weah became president of this country, then it tells you how they have always kept this country on a certain elite political path, Congo path, that nobody from the other side should become president. George Weah is not a curse. George Weah has never been a curse to this country. Neither is President Bouakai. Everyone is entitled and everyone reigns and everyone leaves at the time. If this time President Weah is off the presidency and you're vexed that he became president, then you're telling us that no native person should become president. It should just be among the elite, the top people. And see now how this country had been all along, that today you still get stink, dirty, nasty city called Morovia, poo-poo water all over the place. Why you get so angry because someone ascended, someone succeeded? Look at the Unity Party and look at Daniel Sano as a person, the man who claimed to have graduated, got master a couple of weeks ago. How will you individually, me, if I am a public relation defender or a government defender, I will have to look at my individual reasoning. I will not just come and just say all kinds of things because I want public attention or I want my people to praise me or say things. What is the wrong there? That George Weah became president. So nobody from the other side should become president. So George Weah presidency, even though he out of the presidency, but Unity Party still vexed. Chief, that one, that serious disease there, that mental disorder, that one can kill you. You can fall off. You can fall off. Because that's what Daniel Sano said. They stay vexed. President Bouakai vexed. Why George Weah became president? All of the Unity Party vexed. I see why they are targeting this man. They want, if you were Unity Party people, you get all of them left. They just ready to kill George Weah. That's what they're trying to say. They vexed why George Weah became president. Yeah, it's Daniel Sano. How can you be a deputy minister of information and you say this as if this country is Unity Party personal property? You people feel entitled that this country is your entitlement, this country is your inheritance, that nobody other than you should be here. And you ain't care for another round of war. Because these are things that can bring war. You say certain people must not be. You disenfranchise certain people, you vex because certain people became. That one can bring war. That one brought the war. Certain people look at Ellen Johnson, suddenly look at it. They say, look, Charles Taylor, let's take the man from there. Prince Johnson said, yeah. That's how we had the 1990 war. Samuel Doe felt that he could stay there, that the other people should not be. The other people on the other side said, no, this country is for everybody. Since you want to install yourself as Nebuchadnezzar, then we'll find a way to take you from there. That's how we had the 1990 war. That the same thing. Daniel Sano saying, why George Weah should be president? George Weah should not be president in this country. That it is Unity Party personal property. That Unity Party should be here. No wonder why. Their party chairman say they will reign for 200 years. I wish all of them could live for 200 years. Why were Unity Party be so bad? You see now? Why? Why these people are targeting George Weah? George Weah She would say all manner of things. At one point in time, I think 2 or 3 times, because we were there every day, she walked off because her conscience was not clear. You will look at the margin between the two people. The margin is very slim. Very. So we can conclude that Americone did rig the election in your favor. No, Americone didn't. You won by a slimmer margin. George Weah won by a Gulf margin, a C margin. But your hit, why this man should come from the football field and be president? That's the anger, the vexation, as if this country is unity party personal property. And you're going to see many of that. This is not a unity party property. If that hurting you, you'll continue to, it will continue to hurt you, it will continue to juke you. What the people can say is that it will juke you away. It will really pin you to the core. Your vexation, your anger, say to make sure we are president. Oh, what kind of country yeah? What kind of country? So, listen, here is it. The best way you can kill this thing is up to Senator Conan. We don't know what he has planned or what he's planning or his approach is different. But I think they need to go radical. Listen, President Bouakai is aware of this thing. He's enjoying it. There is no of the two people. President Bouakai has something to protect. Then Americone or the people on the other side. They say in Labyrinthine, I will be rude. I will be unruly. You're accept it. Please, you're accept it. I will be rude. I will be graphic. They say raccoon know the stake to clean a ball on. What they brought against Americone, we know it. We've talked about it over and over. And we said that President Bouakai made no difference at that place. President Bouakai, you're changing and changing. That the first person he sent at DEA. What have we been saying? What we have been saying that the same thing Senator Americone said. Snow said the same thing. Other politicians said it. Why they can't hang on us? They should turn to us. They see Americone as a winkling. They see him as softly. They see him as a scared person. We said it before Americone, and we still saying it. But Bouakai have done nothing significant over there. Changing people every now and then, and that DA has changed nothing. Sending Daniel Ziangan there or changing 4, 5, 6, 7 person is not the solution. We've said it repeatedly. Why they can turn to us? Daniel Sano there, they can never peer, they can never turn to us, he say. Because as they hit, we're hitting them. When they release 2, we release 4. When they release 4, we release 10. Then the bossman will call them. Just as they have the microphone, we get a microphone. And they can't do nothing to us. That's democracy. We intellectualizing. If I was Senator Conde, well, I talk about the other side, I talk about the civilized, in a civilized way. The radical part, Senator Conde, the only way this thing will stop, you have to be reactive too. In Liberian culture, when somebody says something about you, you mute yourself or you say anything about it, they will continue to say. But when they say, hey, you give it to them, when they say you give it to them, they will shut up. You have to face up to these people, Senator Conan. You don't allow these people to bring you down politically. They want to bring you down. You have to face up to them. You have to face up. If you can engage them outright, you have every options. You have your supporters all over the place. And let them start engaging these people, saying something, even about the very president. You see what Bouakai will not call. The very Bouakai that said that the legislature, he wants a good relationship between the executive and legislature. That the same Bouakai sitting down there allowing his information minister and other people to curse the senator. Then that the man who said he wants a good relation between he and the executive and the judiciary. When we tell you that you can get that a serious president there. Bouakai Lola, serious president. Serious president, you will know. You will say, look, immediately, my man, stop that thing. Stop it. Stop it. A leader is farsighted. A leader is proactive. A leader avert a potential crisis before it can occur, or prevent a crisis before it can happen, meaning he will see it by the signs. He will say, look, Pierre, I don't want to hear that thing again. I don't want to change your policy over there. You go ask the very PR man. You ask Lawrence family. They are there. I can call 4 or 5 names that stay at that Ministry of Information. They were doing the same thing, causing everybody. Isaac Jackson was there. All of the people, they were there causing people. What did Ellen Johnson Sirleaf say? The woman stay here or she stay alive. You go ask her. You say same and you say. The woman called the people. The woman said, look, that's not the way to go. You guys continue to heighten tension as much as we disagree with our colleagues on the other side of the political divide as opposition people, but you can use the Ministry of Information to just be combative. Yourself the policy of the Ministry of Information, and you stop this combative thing, confronting people here, and they're calling them all kinds of names. It is against that backdrop because Pierre knows that when he was there, Ellen said it. When he came, when Boaga appointed him, he said the ministry will not be reacting to everything. The ministry will not be reactionary ministry. Where is it today? He gone back into the same thing. What did the man say before this Daniel Sano rant against the senator? Didn't he say that it is their responsibility that what the Ministry of Information for, they will continue to counter, they will continue to attack. So all that Daniel Sano doing, and because they said, do it. That's the role of the ministry. So why would the senator just sit down? In our culture, when somebody says something to you, you say it back. When a person slap you, if you can kick the person in the stomach and let the person fall down, you kick the person. They would never, when they wake up, they would never try it again. And you know that nuclear time formula? Huh? Every time they hate you. The day a person get vexed, one slap, put you on the ground, poor government. Well, how did you call it? They say government foreigner in your mouth, send your mouth and punch you everywhere. When you wake up, that person can never try there again. That what? Good. What are you taking it easy with these people for? Why are you taking it easy with them? You say now that you're getting scared, you American. But listen, besides this American, anybody, you in the opposition, sedition, they try anything with you hit them in return. You hit them. And about the one that democracy within now, we see who will get scared. President Boaga has more to protect than the opposition. When tensions start rising in this country, they're not the opposition they will call, than him. That he the one, he has aged. Then they say Americans say he aged. Oh, but that's not true. The man is aged. The man is aging president. Look at the man, how he walks. Does he looks like 16, 17, 18, 20, 25, 30? No. The man is 81. Look at Paul Biya. Paul Biya is 93. Paul Biya is off the public glare. That's the only way this thing will stop. Oh. When the people hit you hit them back. When they hit you hit them back. That the boss man and Boaga will call them and say, you stop it. The people who say they refined, they're intelligent. They don't want stooping so low. They can bring that into certain people they know that the weakling, then they can go to the scared one there. They don't try, they don't be looking, say the other radio station said it, King 7 said it, when we take 1 month, when your papa Boaga call you and say what happened, 1 month. Because when I even listen to PR, when I listen to nobody, we'll go guata with you. And see, we'll open Daniel Sano far, we'll open Jeremiah PR far. You say that the country here is small. It's small. That corner you're getting, I see you. So 19.2 million drug or cocaine case is on. The 336 million United States dollars cocaine on. I say, oh God. Well, your lead Daniel Sando, Daniel Sando. When people getting craziness, as they can say in Liberia, you can start from normal. When you're getting crazy, you can be in public office, you be crazy. So your lead Daniel Sando, yeah, they'll be talking. They'll be talking. Oh, well, let him be talking to everybody. Everybody. Yeah, it's good to have a comedian on the stage. Yeah, that's the government comedian. Yeah, government using him to just be talking, saying all kinds of things to people. Let him go ask the other people. Let him go ask the other people. So the best tell the job we are. But let's talk about cocaine. So they destroy the cocaine. They destroy evidence, but they confirm it was cocaine. The investigation is still on. Some people, they allow some people to go. They stay playing hanky-panky game with the whole thing. They're acting like they're smart. We have America on the ground. The experts, they are on the ground. The experts, people who know about investigation. They aren't the men yet. The people who know nothing. They just here because they're in power. But we trust them. We trust the people outside. Thank God America came in. Because America, people are going to submit their report. The year with our Liberian people, they are investigating. They can fool or they can convince the people, they can persuade them to compromise anything based on the findings of the people investigation. They will submit it to their government. The government will review it, and the government will take action at the appropriate time. You don't worry. This thing cannot, and it will not be covered up by the government. They will try to come up with different things as they're using their surrogate, Daniel Sando. And we're talking, you're telling, we challenge, we're waiting. The day Daniel Sando just mentioned in a month, Kings FM. The day you just mentioned AP Way on Teach Your Life or any one of us, forget it. When we open our man fire, I swear, the Bible says when I swear, but let me tell you, I swear. When we open our man fire, we'll say some things on the radio. Sam Andrew will say it. When I man go in coma for 1 or 2 weeks on Chimani. Just waiting, let him be talking. Let him talk all while he play. Be reacting to everybody. And he Mr. Reactor. Won't open your fire. So the guys are here. They are investigating. After that, they will submit their report to government. The government will review the report. And after that, they will take the appropriate action. So exercise patience. Don't hasten. Don't rush. Don't panic. Why they're not doing the investigation at this? No. The government, it is off the government hands now. Meaning the way they were moving with it, doing all kinds of things. You see them doing it now? They are very careful because they have foreigners in their midst now. People who they can bribe, they can influence, they can subject, they can say, go, leave it. You won't belong here. They can. Are helping this thing to make sure they get to the bottom of it. In the meantime, while the investigation is ongoing on the side of the foreign partners, they have started to take stringent actions and measures. The information that came out that the DEA boss was delisted, we want to believe that. We want to believe that. You can remember when Teacher Light told you on the show a couple of weeks ago that the U.S., he got report that the United States government have requested that some of these people be tried out of Liberia. People deny it. That information came out to be true. Less than no time we heard of the guys coming, DEA and Homeland Security experts to investigate. They are dead serious with this thing. If Unity Party people, or if you are a Unity Party person and you think that this thing is going to die down, well, that's a lie. You can say, oh, the government is taking action. See, the government, the 100 million, they walk away. This government is trying. This government ain't trying a jink thing. A jink thing they're trying. Nothing. That is a blatant lie. You think that way because you are a supporter of the regime. You want to look at it from a nationalistic, patriotic perspective. But a jink thing they're doing. That's why we are only waiting for the report, and that report going to be a damaging report. Damaging report. So you will see actions. You will see actions not only by the United States government, but other countries, other partners to Liberia. This drug thing, they know, the government know. And please, let me say it again. We talk about these things from the Ministry of Information and other places, just so you are aware that information. That is why when we give the information, then we tell you the reason why they are doing it. Don't buy into what they are doing, that distraction. They know exactly what is coming. They want you to be talking about this drug business. Everything that want to call political strategy. Let's bring out something. Let's talk about Joe we are. Let's talk about the president. Let's say Joe we are there. Then all Joe we are supporters now, or majority of Joe we are supporters, they will join on. They'll be talking, and we just look at them, they'll be talking vest. Hey, the only reason I talk about Daniel Sano, and I gave you a reason. I said that is a political ploy, a political shenanigan, meaning to turn people's attention from the drug thing. They know that the weight is on them. They know that they ain't able. They know that they are guilty. They know that it's working against them. They know that the tide is against them. And you know the tide? Have you gone to the sea? Just go to the sea. Yeah? You stand on the shore. You see it come. Now what they call the tide, a rising tide. When it hit you, yeah? You'll find yourself somewhere that what coming happen, the tide is rising against them. So they're trying to find a way by which the public will not be talking, because everywhere they go, drug. The only thing that in president here, drug. Government ministers, everywhere, the people just talking about drug. Every corner you go, every store, bank, supermarket, market table, waterside, red light, Painsway, Ominga, everywhere, drug, cocaine. The whole country that is discussion now. Everywhere. You in taxi, boss, keke. The government bring drug into the country. The government bring cocaine in the country. They say that we are bringing kush in the country. Yeah, now United Party government are kush. Everywhere that is discussion now. Yana boy, Yana gas then. In the market. We got it, yeah. And they're closed now. They're closed. Their toiletries and other things that they're selling, they're ringing the bell over it. But they say, you can buy your toiletry, buy the Cocaine Republic. Oh, about the thing that we can see. Everywhere, people selling their goods, they're ringing the bell on it. They want to call banjo. Then you hear special Cocaine Republic. Embarrassing to the government. Moreover, you have foreigners. You have other people who are in the country, they're coming in and going out. Let me tell you one thing that happened in the CDC administration. The Minister of Information, then Ledger Rennie, was right. And he is a seasoned communication expert. Given my little understanding of communication, when you find yourself in a crisis situation, how to manage that, it takes innovation and creativity to sway so that partners who are coming in the country would not be discouraged. So they had this event, they call it, people who 100 years in, sometimes the bicentennial, something like that. People coming back from the country about 100 years or so, something like that, at the Samarkand Sports Complex. Sorry if I can't get it right. From this, they had it at the Samarkand Sports Complex. So the Minister of Info, all kinds of things was happening. Unity Party people putting dead body on the street. The other people reporting this. The other people saying all kinds of stuff. And international partners were coming into the country. Ledger Rennie, a veteran media expert, what did he figure out? I'm saying this to tell you how this thing is embarrassing, and they know how to do it. I'm using Ledger Rennie expertise. So what did he do? These people, you have radio stations talking about this other one happening in the country, crisis here, protests on this side, all kinds of things. And these people were coming into the country. So Ledger Rennie said, but if we can have a synchronized communication flow, a single content is going to have a serious impact on this bicentennial celebration. So what he was thinking, that it would have been right, or it would be right, if all of the radio stations and newspapers were talking about the gains of the government, the prospects. So radio stations, newspapers, they are writing that if somebody coming through the airport and take a Liberian newspaper and see they're talking about the bicentennial, they're talking about the progress of the government, they're talking about this. So they're reading that. They will be excited, they will be motivated. Going back now, they're going back with this thing in mind that, oh, look, okay, Liberia is at this level, the country is doing this, the country is doing that. But it was hard because you had opposition radio. So why the other people saw it, other media institutions, they saw it from a national perspective. They were reporting on the gains. They will leave the other things that was happening. They will report on the gains. They will report on how the bicentennial will be successful. They will write in the papers. Some of them will come up with different tabloids and different write-out. The other media institutions, opposition institutions, they had no time. They were talking. People were coming in the country. Can you imagine? They're talking, oh, the government this. Oh, the country is this. The country not that. Some of the people heard some things that they didn't want to hear. Some heard good things. In Liberia, under the United Party government now, why I use that situation, the more why the government is embarrassed, they don't want people to be talking about this, because you have people coming in, you have people going out. The foreigners coming into the country, they're in the car listening to the radio, Liberian radio, they're hearing about government brought in cocaine. That person gets afraid and say, I am in the wrong place. What if I am caught or caught between the scissors? Another person coming into the country, reading Liberian newspapers and say, the government has indicted 12 persons for cocaine. Say, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons they don't want people to be talking about this. Already, they gave some media institutions allegedly, they gave some institutions allegedly some money not to talk about this thing. You see, they're not talking. They were talking from the onset first, but they're not talking. They're not writing again. But it is still on and it is still heated. So they have resorted now. Plan B is, look, let's be talking about these opposition people. Let's say some things, then let's say some strong things that I continue to say so that the people would not focus on this cocaine stuff. But it's not working. It's not working. So yeah, man. Then we'll get to you. They told the man, they say, get on George Weah too. I go. You don't take that as serious. They think I play. They plan it. But they say that the raw people, you talk about American. You talk about American. American, you get supporters. So that one, you lambasted American. When Daniel Sano came to George Weah, the way he has gotten on George Weah, they know what happened first. The first time he started talking organization about George Weah, they saw what happened from seditions. That one part, they know. Seditions can draw back because they will direct everything at Boaka. Everything they will direct at Boaka. Everything. American ain't get supporters. American ain't get base. That's why they have to define a role. Thank God that we're hearing something. I'll tell you that the opposition is cooking something. Yeah, gradually. Yeah, gradually. Your way. So, yeah, what he said. Sedition, I know sedition spy. They can listen at the end their leader. So that one, let me just say, I know Rena, they reacted like nobody business. He said that Daniel Sano now, the man, Germany are pushing in front, say just be doing the talking, and you talking, and you won't be information person. Just be doing the talking, we'll be supporting you. But I will not talk because I know Liberian culture. You be talking. He said it was good that Mr. Weah, that's how he phrased Weah. Mr. Weah declared his intention for 2029 because the gentleman that we are referring to, the gentleman is very less busy. He said we are very busy. Since he left the presidency, since we are left the presidency, we are less busy. Then he said, we have never understood the magnitude of the presidency. Seditions, I'm telling you, the white man said, me, I know you can't hold anything back. He said, there are conflicts across Africa, but no one will call on Weah. There are conflicts across Africa, but no one will call Weah to go and negotiate. He said, presidentially receiving invitations and traveling across the continent for mediations and helping other countries because of our experience. Everyone knows that he doesn't have that ability. No country will jeopardize their affairs by inviting Weah. So they want, you already know the man, I told you, the man that playing to distract people's attention from the cocaine business. That's why you don't lead the cocaine. Yeah, we agree. Nobody inviting Weah, we agree. Nobody inviting Weah for peace talk, for negotiation, we agree. Now we are era. Yeah, now we are era. We are in here when you're having your conflict. But at least they inviting Boaka now who get all the experience. They inviting Boaka all over the place. That's the stupidest thing that you will not want to accept. You can only win such an argument like that when your boss man too going all over. But your boss man sitting down here, your boss man sitting down like Stingray. Your boss man not going anywhere. Nobody can invite your boss man because they're afraid that your boss man is accident in waiting. He went to Tanzania. He almost fell off. The lady got to cut him off and say, sorry, Mr. President, we are running out of time. Then he said, that's why it's not good to always be the last. The president went to do the old folks dedication ceremony on groundbreaking. They called him to speak. He left his podium and started going home. Chief, before you talk about somebody, you got to look at the soul on your foot. That was God said in Matthew 7. He said, if you think speck is in your brother's eye, you want him to take it up. First, look at yours. Make sure that you don't have problem too. Make sure that you don't have any deficiency. Everybody has deficiency over this place. In wherever, everybody has deficiencies. But when you cover up your deficiencies and try to look at other people, no, you don't mind Daniel Sano. You can be normal, you be crazy. You don't mind Daniel Sano, that distraction, that plan, the plan aid. You continue to focus on this cocaine. We want to know the cocaine here, the end of it. We want to see the end of this movie. We want to hear the end. We want to know how it started, who all that the issue there. Thank God Bwaga appointed Daniel Ziangan to the DEA. So we're looking up to Daniel Ziangan. We ain't got time. What we are is not busy. Joe, we are busy. Nobody can invite Joe. We are. That's not the issue. Look at that kind of petty things. Nobody can invite him. That kind of man you want to see. Right? They will not distract our attention. Please, your leader team. You see the man going to address schools of experts from around the African continent and the world, and he said nobody can invite you. Where your boss man? Who can invite your boss man? Let's go here. Let's go to the line. But before that, let's read a few comments as quickly as we can. That y'all continue to share the show, please. Share it. Let's go. Where we are. Paris Lobo Daniel Sano is mentally unstable. He will end up in the garbage after this reckless regime that is protecting his nonsense of insulting opposition personality. If he cannot be careful, history will be like the late Jenkins Scott. So, Mr. Fool, continue to rain insults. Lady C56 said, this is not about Congos or native leaders. Look at how many native sons and daughters in this government. Let's leave the Congos. It's 46 years now. Then as Makumen, Daniel Sando sounds comical and myopic because of his low grade of articulation on national issues between the regime of former President Weah and cocaine regime Bwakai. Maurice Zodua, former President Weah, is a nightmare for Unity Party. Tamati John, Liberian government officials do not know the history. The same yesterday is today. Emmanuel Bro, believably, cocaine is rapidly destroying Liberia nowadays under the presidency of Joseph Boakai and some of his government officials and children. Truthfully, vast majority of the Liberian population are in a big and seriously dangerous mess. Well, let's go. Let's take a few calls and then that will be doing it. 0772 23 99 33 0886 30 44 97 0777 98 0375 Women's Line. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
John talk about calling for district number 1 Grand Bassa County Republic of the Cocaine. Yes, thank you for your explanation. But that also is a little child. You don't know where to have. All the things being doing when you bring it to President, the former President, we are that son bring himself. Because we insult Joseph Boakai there. Even say Boakai said you don't know where to go. Thank you.
All right, Chief. Women's Line. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Ophelia for calling from New Jersey, OT.
Let's hear you.
Yeah. It's Andrew. For the justice will not get tired. Because sometimes when we see how the children study, with the parents will not get tired. When they protest for kush, you carry copper to cattle baby. And at the time we're just having ghettos. When the ghetto you could see Sokos. So aren't you if you just go by 6 in the morning or 7 by Sunday or 6 in the morning Waterside Market, you will yes. The alliance are all on the market tables. We can be packing our goods. The children coming, they're waiting for us just to sleep. So aren't you when you go Waterside Market by 6 in the evening to 7, you will see the children all lining up on battlefield. If the government not meant to be in power, let them leave the power. Because everything about the joy increasing and the sit on the children increasing. If anybody you listen to the radio, if you want to know the truth about the government, soon about 6, 7 will get so they can relax themselves for the whole of in the morning. Like in the morning, we'll go in the morning, they will be fighting to wake up at 6 to go. But then Sunday, the children get line Nigeria 8.
All right, madam.
It's not easy.
All right. Thank you. Have a nice day. Hello, men's line. Hello.
My name is Hussein. I'm Hussein Kewa. I call from Jacobstown.
Unity Party Hussein Kiao.
Same, I call from Jacobstown.
I said Unity Party Hussein Kiao. Come on, my man. What the pretense for you support the Unity Party? Then you say I call from. I say you don't call from.
So yes, I call to claim on the exception you made in relation to Daniel Sano changes with Amara Kone. Sam, you are aware that Sano is the Deputy Minister of Information and he speaks for the government. In that light, you know very well that there is in there. Sam, sometimes when I say this and you say the other way. Let me give you a precedent case. Sheikh Kouyaté accused the legislature, the House of Representatives, of being corrupt. When they invited him, he went there and made the clarity. He was asked to apologize. He went back. You tell me the story. He was dismissed by the president for being difficult in the legislature. Similarly, President Baka is now condoning officials of government, sounding the way they want to sound,
all right,
speaking in their own capacity.
All right.
That is far beyond that. Say, look, there is a senior government here, and the president is now holding back and taking actions and decisions against officials.
All right, Chief.
So what?
Yeah, thank you, serious
he
government.
does not speak for the United Party. The United Party have a spokesperson, and Daniel speaks for the government, not the United Party. I just thought to make that disclaimer.
All right. Thank you very much, United Party. Man. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, Brother Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the topic on our discussion. My name is G. Harrison Taylor. As for Daniel Sano, we just want for us to divert our attention on a topic and leave the job issue. I think that the strategy the government is applying. But I don't want for you people to dive into Daniel Sano issue and let's focus on the job issue to see where we can stop and how far they can go with it. Because your pressure making the government to even suspend some people, to even dismiss some people. So I think you people are making a great impact. To be to spotlight people talking about him. So my suggestion just for good and focus on our job business. That's my point this afternoon.
Thank you, Chief. Nice one. Yeah. Have a nice day. Hello, Women's Line.
Good afternoon, Andrew.
Good afternoon.
Secretary Bar calling for justice. Member of concerned librarian for justice. Thank you very much. Thank you as the other color you travel downstairs. We will now focus on Daniel Sano. Daniel Sano can be a busy. All the people there, our people that will be responding to Daniel Sano on the internet will insult our president we are. They will deal with Baka to the 40th. We'll not forget about the drugs when they're talking. They overwhelm the government. They want the entire government. I tell one brother talking in the country. So the talk when they send Daniel Sano insult America or insult president we are, they will put our America. When the Lord is sorting, I'm not going to get supported at the receipt, the Lord is sorting, they will put them more. But when the Lord is stop president, we are. The people think that they will go and not some and West. Then we on the radio will start thinking about we'll be talking about the cocaine. They will not be the cocaine. They drop and the cocaine Joseph Baka, one entire government free will not be say will be talking about it and tell international community the investigation. They can come and tell all who are bringing the cocaine here. And from there, when government take action, they will know what action the international community and the American will take. Thank you very much.
Hello?
Hello.
Yep.
Say Andrew.
Yep.
How you doing?
Fine.
I'm Pretty Morris calling from Brandonville. Hello?
You are on the air, Chief. You are on the air.
Yeah.
Speak.
We can't blame Daniel Sano then. Daniel Sano then, that live for them from nowhere, you know, their first time working government, they just gave them power. So they see to that said that they arrived. They now know that the state gets future ahead of them. You're supposed to look at people that George we are. And send them people that can hold your hand like, as a labor and carry somewhere. Then you look at your own self and try to put your mouth on that kind of person. So we can't blame Daniel Sano them. Let them do what they want to do. But time will come, it will haunt them. Thank you.
All right, Chief. Have a nice day. Women's line. Hello. Hello, madam. You are on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you are on the air. Let's hear you.
To everybody. President, we will drag it in. There are battle here finished. We will drag it until the battle here finished.
The parliamentary, but we are. Thank you. Have a nice day. Let's go this women's line. Hello.
Thank you. Good evening, sir.
Yes. How are you?
Yeah. Thank you, man. This is Ed McCarr, Prime Member of Concerned Librarian for Justice. You know, I don't know who try being fair now to Mr. President to let him know that saying the presidency, he just sitting here and not doing anything. Because what we see is, oh, if we're doing well. So when we ask, where is the development that you're talking about? You say you just see it all over. So if you think that you come to the presidency, the only thing that you do to dedicate people project and refuse to mention them, then that's a development. That person that tries to open your eyes now to the reality, I think that person that seeing 2029 glaring, so he decided to make him be in the know of some of the things that are happening. Because if he still on a 3 year already key era, where during our government COVID-19 took 2 years, but yet President Weah was able to make a significant gain in the health sector by putting up some health structure in the country that were able to help us even during the COVID-19, that the 14 million hospital began to saving home for people. But then the president say nothing. You will fail in the area of health education. I see why that will make him rushing, talking about free registration for kindergarten to fifth grade. That's the reason why she keep rushing, making that pronouncement, that idiot pronouncement. When you talk about free registration, then look at the school. Go to no public school. Go look at the building. Go look at the structure. They don't even have, yesterday I saw some of that video from River said, you talk about free registration when the children don't even have place, when the principal don't even have place to sit to even or carry on school activity enough for you to say the children will have place to go. So that's it. He has validated some of the things that we have been saying. I put it at OBA. I think they should try to do that for him because is he going anywhere with anything? He's doing nothing. As for Sano, that's it. We are less busy. He's not busy. Somebody that is less busy than the person that will engage in the U.S. from the U.S. He's now on his way to Nigeria and all of those stuff. Then the last year, the president of Sierra Leone was a guest speaker. But here in Liberia, your president that is static, he's sitting here, and President Weah have been invited over him to go to address the Nigerian bar activities. But you say he likes busy, but your president that is very, very busy, He is not a call. He just here and turning around doing nothing. So we are not going to focus on him. The training issue on ground is the new nominee by the president allegedly that lady is a girlfriend to the president EPS director saying gay. We want to know. Tell all whether that information is false, it's true. That for you to be saying all kinds of things because there was a reason why they made that lady Operation Woman. Because when she go on the sea of operation, she will cover all the cooking story about these guys, the senior officials in the government that are benefiting from the cooking. When she go on the sea, she will not bring the story. Also, that's the reason why her boyfriend saying gave recommended her to be the operation man at the DA. So these are the training issues that we're talking about. President, we are even doing it. We don't care. All we know, we need an answer whether that lady is a girlfriend to saying gay or not. Thank you.
Mr. Carr, have a nice day. Women's line, hello. Hello,
sir.
Yes, hello.
I'm not going to confirm for women for justice.
You are on the air?
Yeah, sir. The people, when they like it, sir, they call we are because the cause we are a woman. Oh, they treat the woman for it. But they want me for our minds to move on a tour. We will not learn. We will continue talking. They concern about job and they concern about we are and they get power. How much percentage was there before the bill we are on? Now they see Amalakone damage the election. Now they see Amalakone to really put in more on it. Me and I said better for Amalakone. They let it cost all the Muslims. But we waiting for it. They Amalakone. You can't show. Me, I'm speaking on it. I always telling the opposition. Every opposition will take me or your count together and move it back on in Liberia. We are suffering the country. We can use every mosquito for in mosquito too much because the country is dirty. The country is dirty. Look at the beach. Look at all the corner. I can't hear all yarn we can clean. The country is dirty. So we're telling them, government, not able to government, let's send it over back to us. That will take our country. Our country dirty, Nana. They now see about our dirty what they do is go boy and flour. Then they say like what they go boy flour. You got to tell spoon now. They say spoon give me change. So I'm talk coming.
All right, madam.
I tell you that flour not job.
Thank you. Hello.
Yes, Andrew, how are you?
Fine.
Thank you very much. My name is Abraham. I come from Crystal Police around Habel. Then I'm concerned Liberian for just. Yeah, thank you for the show. The next film, I think is very very Bogara. He's not busy. The reason is the Guineans on the local border and he's not able to go there to go take them from there. What about diplomatic me or by force? Because you took oath to protect the territorial boundary of Liberia, and then the people are being there. It means that they want to come forward into Liberia. So if you are talking about somebody that should be busy, it is Bogara that took oath and they want to be president to rescue the country where he's bringing cohesion. The next one is if you bring a problem, we have been doing peace work in the country, and not only the country. When our brothers were stored in Arabia, Halakan, he was not president, and he the one went there to bring them, and they came successfully. And he had done a lot of things in the world. Now you are busy with the FIFA World Cup because they gave him an they just invited him after the FIFA was just invited him to Nigeria. So if you're not aware, there is a brother that is very less basic and does not know what to do to lead this country well. So he gets to a stadium. Just yesterday, he told you a stadium how he's saying so many things.
All right, Chief.
Education, yes. So the next one, if you don't know what to say, forget about we are. People can go for brother. We don't want to do that. Just control this is better we are. You don't forget about we are. That's the people are advising people that this is wrong.
All right, Chief.
Now, leader can, and if the ministers are doing those things, they will say, oh, they're not going to be so. So thank you, Mr. Andrew.
Hello, women's line.
Mr. Andrew.
Hello.
I'm patiently calling for people in the morning concern Liberian for justice. So I won't hear my heroes understand. Understand that equal way, I'm going to make brother to power. But today you install job, I go free. I just saw it for President Baka. And then install. Understand raise a president, we are a Baka of the West. But you can compare the two. You can compare to Mr. Andrew. I'm not going to buy that government here. If I get follow up. So anyway, the possible president, we are get people that people behind the ends. So you not want that and never get people behind the ends for you to go country. No, that will be the way in the struggle. Now, I'm not going to come there. I'm not brother people. I'm not made Jonathan to be minister. I'm going to be election and manufacture no more. Jonathan, I'm going to be minister. So the rest of his party. Because I'm not going to apply for the woman. I just saw the photo. Mr. Andrew, I'm not going to apply for the woman to kind of power. So they pay what is what I want to be nice. Or in some president, we are a part of the way cartoon. So I want him, I tell the president, we are. Because we're going for Jonathan, going for a leader. Here, cartoon will be the way. Thank you.
Right. This way. Hello. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, Sam, how you doing? I'm a family.
Fine.
Yeah, Sam, look, Sam, let me say, for the public record, this is the voice of Sabu Rasta. Saying I call from point 4 to be specific in Zimbabwe, a proud member of the concerned Librarian for Justice. Look, let me tell Daniel that you're not working, my brother Daniel. You're not working here. If we are not, if we say we are left business, I tell you to hear the children and you go to, but let George business will be on it today, will be on it tomorrow, will be on it forever. If you think you can persuade us and say, oh, you think we're super, we're not super, my brother, we are better, we are not working, we are not, they're calling, we are reporting, and I want to leave with you. Tell your children I will discuss it. But let George business, rescue us, rescue us. They are cooking, you bring the laboratory out of Naco State, you rescue the country here. So when you see that, oh, you bring, we are very anything for all the leader cooking, but it's a lie, my brother, you lie. We are not depending on government job. We are not looking at some of y'all. Yes, we are not working here. Y'all all around passing one way around the place. But today we are, because of the brain we are getting now, we are working with people, whole government body. We are working on that. So we are not less busy than you. So if you think that you can make, we are still able to lead the jobs, my brother, you lie. We'll discuss the job today, we'll discuss it tomorrow, we'll discuss it forever. Because you are a dealer, but I'm telling. Thank you, Sam Andrew.
All right, have a nice day. Women's line, hello.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, that man stop thing. I just want to tell you, just forget about George. Yeah. The manager, we are, he even do their work.
Who man?
Making mistake. They don't sign no man.
Oh.
They get power for them to work and do something good for the country. That we Georgia is thinking about. So Georgia is above them. And what I want to say, they say Georgia are breaking kush. Hey, expensive people who that live. So they brought the expensive drugs. When they take in the money now, all of them, they can think about any good thing. Then they get there. I want to get high. Oh, high. I want to get high. They say, the cookie don't make them car. So they get nothing to do. They better leave Georgia and they have money here and they afternoon. But they are Pokemon. They say, or car went behind Georgia horse. In on the same station here, I will pay attention to them. And so the person who they saw behind Georgia horse. He better leave Georgia because Georgia don't have him, mocking him. The thing he's looking for behind Georgia before it be the end of his life. So I advise him. Thank you.
Hello, men's line.
Yeah, okay. Really?
You are on the air, Chief. Speak.
Yeah. Jefferson Slava calling from the Virgin Speaker District number 11. No, in my mind, they have something likely be wrong with Daniel Sano. Maybe you're thinking that we will forget about the cooking case sooner. Until American people get all the real report, what Burger is hiding the real report, protecting his son, protecting his official who escorted his judge, he protecting them, waiting for American people. So that Jonathan will be doing what he's doing. We will not go by it, we will not go by it. We will continue to pressure the government. Thank you.
Thank you for calling too. Have a nice day. Women's line. Hello.
Hey, G-Spanner.
Yeah.
Daniel Sano think he can capture us our whole topic. He can capture us. He can make things stupid.
The people want you all to control India Powo.
Now I want to say, you can't control your Powo. You can't do it. You can't battle your Powo. Let me tell you, Daniel Sano. Let's draw your bucket, bro.
your leader there brought in the country, we say they stop it. Tell God, say, and you just so clap that the American, they are yet to investigate. Your mail to 8,000 is up top official government in the government and nobody drop. So what is he doing? If we organize something, all the leader, who get that for another issue here, say, Andrew? He's sorting people, not the issue yet. The issue is they just your bro. Who must know who is. Somebody to your poho. You are to get loving suke. They don't close there all behind all here today. You get a job. And I like the one your own brother, your own big brother. He posted on Facebook. Telling you that you have to be very careful with life. Then life, you see, you can rot in life. Not because you get the opportunity to be something for all the place. Something your older people. You don't want to know because you get a job. You have to be very careful. Then what you see is very deep and it's so long. You can't end it. But they just bro and know how you not push on the boot who will know who break it. So what is it deep? Love you all the play will not buy it to your thank you.
All right, man, CC, have a nice day. Let's go this way, Miss Line. Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Andrews.
Yes, sir.
Okay, my name is Sam Roberts, and I do join from District Number 9. You know, I want you guys to just leave Daniel Sando with me. I will be the one to disgrace Daniel Sando.
How?
If Daniel Sando goes beyond my president, I will disgrace Daniel Sando. I will release a sex video with his wife and his girlfriend.
Oh, you got video? Wait, my man. You got videos on it, man?
I will release video on it.
Wait, nah. Hey, my man, wait. You have videos on it, man?
I got video on Daniel Sando.
Oh, what kind of videos?
I got sex video on Daniel Sando with his girlfriend.
Oh, how you got it now? How you got it?
We got security on security.
Oh, where's all? Where you got it from?
We got security on security. I will disgrace Daniel Sando.
The bloody man went to do a lady. You go behind him.
I will tell his wife how you can change his ride.
Oh.
And go face his girlfriend.
But wait, you and the man living in the same place? You're living in the same.
I live around here.
Oh, what place you living?
Come in.
Where you live?
I live on the FV.
You live on the FV?
Yes.
Then Daniel Sano living on the FV too?
Yes. My man, they've been in that special home.
No, my man, I want that auntie so. That man living on the FV. Even though I know the man, but the way you saying it, you're not too sure.
The man not home yet.
All right, Chief.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Sam Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm Peter David Castle. I call from under the street like in Roy Johnsonville, an outstanding member of the Concerned Bureau for Justice. Thank you for the fascinating discussion. And Mr. Sam Andrew, the issue of the cookies, and I will now go to bed. And I thank you for highlighting it. Now, for all indications, it has been proven, and clearly that the entire government has been implicated from the executive to that of the judiciary branch of government. When they talk about the cookies cartel, they are the cartel. And that's why the government is just reluctant when it comes to investigation. They don't want to expedite the investigation because every sector of the government, from the executive to the judiciary, they are the ones are being considered as the drugs cartel. So they will never fight this particular drugs. And the worst thing that ever happened, this government used and push as a country to come to power. Under their water hands, they came to power out and deploy all mechanisms not to allow drugs to enter in the country. They allowed they themselves started supplying and supporting drugs into the country. That means voluminously that they cannot fight drugs. And lastly, to the issue of Daniel Sano, I want to be very more paradoxical. And Daniel Sano is a living, dead human being. That is it. These are the people yesterday that are crying all over here. Today they give them the power. They don't even know their own job description. And you see how disgraceful and sinful it is on the part of Daniel Sano. You can talk about, and people were dying on who People are not dying. How many hospitals? I think that's why you should be cheering us. Daniel Sando, send your government into power. How many hospitals they have built? Now you come to Johnsonville before reaching to Loma Quarter. There's dead body there. Nobody know. He died. And a growing up man, the body is lying down there. So what
All right, Chief.
are you people felt ungrateful to this particular country and Jaffe like this? My brother, Daniel Sano, when you leave government, I think you don't have to escape from Liberia here and go live. Because you have no fear in this particular country. The people use.
Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Andrew.
Yeah, let's have you.
Yeah, this is David King, and I do join you from my residence and executive of the Concerned Librarian for Justice. You see, people like Sano, they want to bring a kind of usual thing they do. That is to distract us from the real issue. And the real issue is the drug issue. President Weah is an international figure. It's not just a local as we see him to be, but he's an international figure. You and I know President Weah was just in the U.S. on a FIFA assignment. And aside from that, he was just recently invited to go and become a kind of inspirational speaker in Nigerian Bar Association. So if Sano claims that President Weah is less busy and the people did not invite him, let him show Joseph Baga on an invite of reason where they invited him to go and address any meaningful forum. Because Joseph Baga do not know people.
All right,
nobody
Chief.
know him. So when people are talking about this, God gave him a son that we have, which is President Weah, you cannot compare him with Joseph Baga. Because Joseph Baga is a nobody. Nobody know him in the world. Now he go for the said around one leader for them to know him. You go to media, people asking,
all right,
who's the
Chief.
leader?
Thank you so much. We have to go. Time is of the essence. Thank you all for spicing the show. I appreciate all of you. The reminder, please mark your calendar, the 21st day of August. His Excellency, the former President, Republic of Liberia, political leader, Congress for Democratic Change, global icon, George Manning Weah, will have the responsibility to shift, refocus, position the atmosphere in Nigeria when he mounts the podium to address the Nigerian Bar Annual Conference that brings together not only the lawyers, but the opening session, scores of executives from the business sector, the media, the military, just everywhere, just name it. He will have the responsibility to deliver a pep talk, a lecture, a motivational speech, and on the 21st. Do like it or not, this is a plus for Liberia. He was chosen by a panel and they outlined all of the reasons why they saw him as the best suited to address them from Liberia. And beyond party politics, it is national, it is patriotic, it is a national responsibility. So a recognition for Liberia. We don't expect the other side of the political divide to trumpet it because they are against him. We will trumpet it every day, and that is why they are terrified. I should tell you this before I go. Unity Party is terrified by this. They are ashamed. They are embarrassed. That is why Daniel Sano will come and say, like it's small child, that George Weah can be invited. Nobody inviting him when Weah is being invited all over the place. You know how the small children will behave in the community when they have nothing to say. They say, nobody can call you, say, look, nobody know you. But the person is moving from one end to another. And because that child has nothing much to say, so he just want to say something so the people will say the child has spoken. That's how the child in this man has spoken. So it's terrifying to them. It is a shame to them. A minus, a +4. The opposition +4. Liberia, even though they don't want to admit, but they will have to live with the hurt, the pains, the frustration, the anger. Chief, life in itself, you don't get envious of anybody. President George Weah, former president, is far better in every aspect of life than President Joseph Yema Boakai. It is now President Boakai is enjoying life in his 80s. That's time he enjoying life. No way, under no condition, the two people, you can bring them together. We are far, 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 1,000 times far above President Boakai. Far. The world does not know President Boakai. The world knows, respects, honors George Weah. We are served in every capacity. Weah has reached what the Englishmen call the pinnacle of life. There is nothing Weah can fight for again. We have reached everything. We are defied all, A-L-L, all odds, all existential and political odds in Liberia. He can't be this, he not this, he will not be this. These are the odds, some of the many odds. They say he can't be president. They say he know how to speak. He doesn't know English. He never graduated from high school. He never, all of this, never can. All of those political odds, he defied all. The man defied all of the political gravitates in Liberia. Nobody in Liberia history, successful than George Weah. Nobody, no politician reaches the toe of George Weah in accomplishments. Nobody. All of the majority of the politicians, some have died. The living ones, they were in their political vibrancy, the political prime, when George Weah was a small boy playing football, running around from one end to another. They had all of the opportunities available to them to move from one level to another, to take this country from one level to another, to excel to the presidency. They never. George Weah grew up, took this country. Chief, we see you, man. No match. Comparing George Weah or any person with George Weah is what the Englishmen call mismatch. Because there is no similarity, no link whatsoever. The people, they're on the same level. Not at all. No one in this country, within the political sector, I'm not saying in the business, in the political sector of this country, no one is successful than George Weah. Majority of the politicians today, they're older than George Weah. When George Weah was playing football, when you were running around in Gibraltar, they were all around in the prime as politicians. He came from the slum, rose to the highest peak of football. They were still around here as politicians speaking the BB grammar. He came from the football field and became president. Today, his legacy changed the dynamics of Liberia infrastructurally. What the politicians did not know, but they were all around with their grandmas. He brought it to this country that today, the eyes of people are open now. They are exposed. They are getting different ideas now, helping in their respective communities, their personal lives, and other things. George Weah exposed politicians, the greatest. So we see here, yeah? Well, nobody can. George Weah don't need anybody to call him. No. George Weah don't need attention. Attention goes after George Weah. It's President Bouakai and the rest of the people of Unity Party who need attention. George Weah don't need attention. Look at George Weah. You know the people that crave for attention? They're unknown to be known. George Weah is known. So attention runs after him. Everywhere he goes, he is there. Attention running after him. People fighting to shake his hand. People fighting to just see him. White, black, brown, green, yellow, blue. Every color, every race. I see you. I see you. You can make it. No one successful in this country as compared to George Weah. Nobody. You match anybody with George Weah. You match them. All the people who have condemned him. Today, the only thing they can say, and they feel proud in it to condemn him, but they cannot match anything by their standard of life and achievement with his to bring him down, to reduce him, because that's what you do. You want to raise your standard. You want to say, I've done this. Over the years, I've been a politician for 25 years, 30 years. This is the infrastructure. These are the countries that I went to. This is what I have done. This is how I helped Liberia. All those things. You want to say that. Then you will lower George Weah. But nobody, no politician in this country, the only standout character is George Weah. Nobody. I see you. Nobody. George Weah don't need attention. Attention craves after George Weah. Attention runs after him. He don't need attention. No. George Weah can popularize President Bouakai. President Bouakai in his own country is unknown. Look at Buchanan. President goes to Buchanan to celebrate 179th anniversary, just like small children in a yard playing. It was too pitiful. The president himself was embarrassed. They tried to give it the color, but it could not. Look, everywhere George Weah goes, the crowd behind him, white men serving as security. Hey, man, I see you. Anyway, I see you. I see you. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. Yeah, please join us tonight. Join us tonight at 8 o'clock for another explosive presentation, another insightful presentation when the doctor of the night, the teacher of the line, the light of the nation, the evangelist and Anthony at Law A.B. William. It's in. We face the issues. And then on tomorrow at 7, you want to join us for Let's Talk About It with Israel Boy We Are Seeing. If God permits, we're back tomorrow. This is how we go home.
From the latest news to your favorite tunes, we've got your back morning, night, and afternoon. Join our family, connect with your crew. Kings FM 88.5, just for you.